Hello, welcome back to my journey to become a profitable trader by showing you my process and how I'm day trading every single day. So today, as you can see, it was a Friday, took 2 trades and big loss, so both of them were losses. So I'll just review how I started that. So let's see my trading plan. Start my day, Friday. So I started with my rules again, 3 trades per day. I haven't hit that. I might change that to 2 now. And I might also decrease this to 500 after my weekly review, because 750 seems a bit too much for like a eval. I do want to spend at least a week or 2 on each eval, so I'm not blowing through like 3 a week or 4 a week. So yeah, might change this to 500. Strategy, I need to define my strategy more, so I'm going to make a strategy video today and kind of refine how I'm taking trades. And then today was CPI, so there was a huge candle at 8:30 a.m. Which I didn't really anticipate because I got on the charts after 8:30. So I got on the charts at 8:33. So that's 1:33, which is equivalent to 8:33. I'm in London. Yeah. So today, price at 8:30 is already moving higher into all-time highs. Daily candle expanding with very little work at the end. If we expand like this after this much manipulation, you know that most likely this isn't going to be a failed breakout. We already manipulated here, and then all these wicks, that was accumulation of longs. So this is all the big players just accumulating below this wick as well. So this now, I don't think it's going to fail. We might go higher and then retest the all-time highs, but for now, I'm anticipating this to hold for now. 4 hour, I feel like that's a order block that is formed. So I'll show you the order block, 4 hour. So this is your first order block. 4 hour order block. Expand high with gaps. So this is optimal for a price to retrace into, and then another order block to form. So now this one is your new order block. Now I'm anticipating this to hold. So we may not even need to retrace into that for now. We may just go higher on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, consolidate, and then drop down to retest this area, the highs, before we really have our expansion, or we just kind of just grind higher. But you can see that there's a lot of low. So this is quite smooth. So you don't know yet that this is not going to be taken out. So in the morning session, I saw that price already expanded higher. I didn't anticipate the same day that we're going to retrace lower, just because like this is a higher time frame breakout. We're going to expand higher until at least like 25,700, I think, before we even consider like consolidation and retrace back to this level. We may wick into this. So yeah, today I was bullish on the 4 hour. 1 hour CPI candle, 1 hour. So this was your CPI candle. I didn't anticipate us to take out the low again, so this was kind of what I wanted to see. Strong move higher, which I anticipated since yesterday. I said yesterday that we're probably just going to break out now. 8 AM candle is massive due to CPI announcement. Not much of manipulation, as price had been having manipulation for several days before. So you can see that we didn't really need to manipulate lower again. We've had so much manipulation and back and forth price action in that level that this now we don't need to go back. I'm feeling confident about today's plan. I'm in a good mood, therefore I'm able to trade. I'm going to be patient today and wait for the 9:30 a.m. So even though I saw this at 8:30, I didn't instantly take a long. As soon as we retraced into this candle, I waited for the 9:30 a.m. and as you can see, that was a good idea because this wick, literally, I could have entered at the top or anywhere around here, and it literally retraced from 524 to 432. So don't just instantly long when you see a candle like this at 8:30. Most likely during the 9:30, if we have all this price action of like just equal high, just price grinding higher, we're not just gonna straight blast off as well. So yeah, I'm executing model 2022, so I need to refine that today, maybe document my exact plan I'm looking for. And the overnight we just grind higher towards the drawn liquidity, which was the all-time highs. There was no manipulation or anything. What is something important for today? So there was a strong bullish day yesterday. Today we took out the all-time high CPI. This may not be an easy day. Wait for price to show you it's respecting order flow. Yeah, but even though we traded straight higher, I didn't just think like, yeah, we're just gonna keep going higher. Because just overnight, like you can see that we formed all this like higher highs. You don't just keep blasting off higher, and even if you do from this, it's okay. Like you can catch like a small move when it's very strong, but today quite weak after we broke out. Wait for the new. So my plan today, wait for the 9:30. This was pre-market, so wait for the 9:30. Wait for the new 4-hour candle as well. I don't think I have a high probability here, as everyone is most likely long here after seeing that candle breakout. But I also have seen where when price just keeps moving higher, then 9:30 pushes it even higher. So that was something I was looking for. Like if 8:30 to 9:30 was just grinding high for a while, then I would have anticipated a big move. But as soon as that 8:30 hit, you could see like price went slow, came back down, up, like didn't really show me that it wanted to just keep pushing higher at the speed. So that's one thing you can look for. Price looks weak, however this can be deceiving. So even though like it looks quite weak, it's still deceiving. Like it's not going to come back all the way down. Price is still not the best. There is no major retracement, just a consolidation in this area. I'd like to see price go a bit deeper. Yeah, so this was the open. Not too much a fan over this price section. We've started the macro, therefore let's see where price goes. And then, so I'll get to my trade I took. So it was good, but kind of messed up with my second trade. I should have just taken the L, and so my first trade looks like I take a lot of trades, but it's just one. I just press spam a bit just to get to my 250 position size. So my short was entered at 2715, around here. Why? So I'll show you on here. My short was, so this is the all-time high break. This was the 1 hour candle high break. And then what do? Came back lower. I didn't take this because I don't like trading into large up close candles with fair value gaps. Typically we reverse, and you can see that we did. But as you can see, then we started making all these lower highs, like from 950. This shows you that this is definitely going to be taken. So what do? Wait for the second high to be broken. So now we got the second high. And then as you can see over here, break low, fair value gap here. So buy side taken, fair value gap. Okay, why did I take a short though? That's the real question. So I took a short because I just saw price just back and forth, and engineering all this liquidity. We're not just going to leave all that morning session liquidity and just go higher. I don't believe that. Even after 10 a.m, we still didn't really move away. All the way up to 10:20, we still were around here. 10:20 to 10:40. 10:40 is not great. There's always a retracement into something. So That's kind of what I was looking for. 10:30 is London close. 10:30 to 11, I believe. Oh, it's 11:30 to 12. No, I think it's 10:30 to 11. But anyway, after this high was taken, there was this fair value gap. So I knew that this side, if we retrace lower after taking out this high, so we took out the high, and then we had the market structure shift here. This was a market structure shift, or this low even. So low, higher, break, and reverse. So I took a short right there. Very small. I only had like 150 risk, so I put my stop loss around here. And then I targeted this. So this was my first mistake. Why am I going for 3-to-1s when I've had very good success with 2-to-1s? So if I could have just stuck to my 2-to-1, I would have easily exited the trade in a profit. But me going for this, and then eventually I even wanted to target this. Like I started thinking like, okay, now we're already there. I'm gonna even target this low here, because I knew it would probably go to this candle. So I don't like targeting the wick. I like to target the upper candle. I've seen this multiple times where price takes this out and reverses. So when price bounces on one of these, so this is like typically like an order block, it wicks lower to take out the body, but it sometimes doesn't go for the low. So this is a very good target to take when you see these. I mean, sorry, not that, the candle body. Don't go for the low of the wick if you think it's like a low probability short. So this is against the trend, right? I'm trading against the trend. So don't always go for the lows. Go for that candle body low, or even this low. But I was initially just going for this, and then I think I mid trade changed to this, which is another, I don't know why, I just went for 4-to-1 for no reason. So I wanted to take this low and touch the first presented fair value gap. But as you can see, we traded lower, we're so close. 10:30 hit, so close, literally 68. It didn't want to go low. I see, even if I targeted this body here, like I said before, I could have just taken the win. I might actually start doing that. 2 to 5. Yeah, that's pretty good. So my mistake here, I should have taken a 2-to-1 instead of a 3-to-1 when I have such tight stop loss, because that was just the first break, and we are counter trend. So yeah, that was my mistake. I'll show you my stop out. Literally stopped out right at the top, but I closed my trade a bit earlier, like 2:30. I closed it around, so 5. I took 5 short contracts, and then I closed it around 25531. 25531. So I closed it right here, because I knew that we're probably going to go for a target, and I just didn't want to take that extra loss, which was another $40, but that was another $40. So instead of 130, I could have lost 170. Oh, it's not even too bad, to be honest. I didn't even have high risk. So what did I learn from this trade? This was my fault. I was trying to go for such a high RR. I could have easily closed for 2.5R, but I should have just gone for the 2. I think my position size was also quite low. I need to start going for my full 250, because when it hits a target on one lower risk, I don't make as much, and now I have to do more trades in order to build up my account. So like the lower risk ones are winning, and then like let's say I take a L for 250. Now I'm not really trading size, because the losers I've noticed that I can scale more into losers because it's easy to keep getting that entry, and then when you can keep getting an entry, price just goes against you. But when you're onside, price is moving away so quick, so you can't get that entry, which is causing me to have a lower position size as price is just moving away quickly from my entry. But like for a loser, let's say, like I'll show you my loser now. So yeah, that's actually a good lesson for me. It's keep my max lesson 3, keep my max position size always for every trade. Yeah, okay, so that was my first trade that I took an L by just so little. Just wanted to hit this, take out this low, but I guess price wanted to make a relatively equal low, take out my stop. That's quite weird, honestly, that it went all the way. Honestly, I did right. Let's see if I wrote it down. No. $2.30. Did I write it down? So that was my trade. Okay, I didn't write it down, but one thing I said to myself when I was in this trade is I don't like the look of this candle here. So this candle was a flat top with no wick. Price tends to just take it out every time without really going to where you want it to deliver. So like, do you see how we made a fair value gap here? This instantly gets disrespected because this didn't have a wick. So it goes for there and then it drops. So if I see this next time, I will be more wary about this fair value gap. Because typically fair value gap, price should have just gone here. So price should have just respected this 5-minute gap and then traded lower into the side, which would have been a win for me. I would have hit my full TP, but it didn't. Okay, so that's my first trade. Stopped out by a tick and then stopped out, and then price goes straight to my target. Like, look at that, just straight delivers. And then this was my second mistake. I wasn't even thinking properly, but as soon as I lost this trade and saw this retracement, I was like, okay, strong retracement, we're probably not going to take these lows because we are overall bullish, which was my original idea for the day, that we are going to be bullish. I took a long as soon as it retraced to here. As soon as it retraced into here with this. And I went for a 2-to-1. Why? Price didn't even take liquidity. There was a market structure shift, but honestly, that my model requires a liquidity sweep first, market structure shift, retracement, so that was okay, and then trades, this one, playbook, market structure shift, fair value gap, so it did form a fair value gap here, time, right, but it didn't trade into the high time level or key level. So see how it just stopped before that gap? When it touches the gap, honestly, and it took out this low, I would have been so much more confident, but this was probably like a B setup, honestly. There was like 3 criteria that were met, but because price was overall bullish and I thought it's 10.30 plus now, I thought we've done the damage on the lows, we're probably going to go higher now. But no, took out my stop loss. I took another trade here with full risk 250 and then immediate stop out, like literally immediately, bang, straight down, and it would have gone straight, and it would have went straight to my target. What I could have done better, which I may look for, is when I get these tight entries, I might even just go straight for the highs. Like, that's still 2.8 R. Oh, if I went for that. Well, let's say I just went for the fair value gap. Still a 1.8 R. Well, I need to go for 2. Yeah. 2 R. Would have been 1 win, call it a day. Then I would have watched like what price does at this gap. Because price here didn't even touch this gap or this first presented gap, which is very common. Like, price always retraces to this first presented gap before it moves higher, and then it did here. Look at that. That was amazing. That would have been an amazing trade. I need to start waiting for a higher probability FVG. So those were my 2 trades, and then I do my review after that. So was my bias correct? Yes, price was bullish. I knew that we weren't going to take out the low here, CPI low. So correct. Levels I marked, so levels were sell side, and then buy side were just an all-time highs, so I couldn't really mark any more levels. Did your plan come to fruition? Kind of. Like, I knew I was going to go higher. I took a short, which I need to think about. Like, why am I taking shorts when I'm overall bullish? I should be waiting for something like this. I should be waiting for that, actually. Big move lower, market structure shift. That's probably, or after this happens, we've had the higher time frame market structure shift, retrace into fair value gap. That probably won't even hit 50%. Yeah. So how did you feel going? How did you feel going today? I felt good after a lot of winning days. So what did I learn from this trade actually? So there was no liquidity sweep at the lows. I missed that. 5-minute order block. I think it doesn't really count as a high time frame level, so took this long because I saw price retrace to this order block, and I thought we just took out the lows and then we just go higher. You know how price just keeps making the higher highs? Yeah, so this was the one I shouldn't have. This is the one high that didn't work out, so unfortunate. I didn't think that would really count. I should be using first presented gap, new week opening gap, or new day opening gap, 2 frame reversals. Don't just use these, use key levels, 2 frame reversals. Those are higher probability. And look, I could have even taken like from here to here. That would have been good too. But that's not in my trading time. Overall loss, I've finally broken, I've broken even for the week from such a bad week. And then if I looked at my stats for this week, like date range this week, profit 797. Honestly, that's pretty good. If I can make this in a funded account per week with a 42% win rate, I could have had such a high win rate too. And a profit factor of 2.1. So this means my trading system this week was profitable, and I plan to improve it to try continue doing the same process. So next week I'll be using the same process again. Let's see how we trade next week. At the end of my 2 losses, I locked out my account because there's no point. I maybe would have taken a trade, but it's better just for me to lock it out. This is the first time I've used the lockout feature, and I think it's good. Like, if you feel like 2 trades is your rules, just lock it out. You don't need to trade again. Just better to review your trades you took. how did I feel at the end of the day? Felt okay. I could have waited before taking another trade, but yeah, so that's my issue. Shouldn't have taken a trade for long. As soon as I saw this, as soon as I saw my trade fail, why did I take a long? I don't need to do that. So that was kind of like an impulse, but not really as well, because that was a part of my plan, but not a good trade, I would say. Didn't stick to my 2-to-1 model, instead went for 4R. Mistakes today. Could have sat out today instead of being in drawdown. I could have taken no trades today, so that would have been a better option. What I did well, ended my trading session after 2 trades. This felt good. I didn't blow my account. I didn't just keep increasing my risk just to pass this eval. No, I stuck to my strategy. So yeah, and another thing, over here, I'm not too much a fan of this price action. Sorry. I'm not too much of a fan of this price action. Price is still in choppy. There's not something I want to be a part of, and this could be the way it is going to show a lot. I might close up session without any trades, so I could have actually protected my capital instead of risking trying to make some money out of today when I saw that today's price action was horrible. But then I just took a trade anyway. So be more aware when you say something like this for me, because there's a reason you're saying it. You want to protect capital. Why would you risk in bad conditions when you could increase your risk in good conditions, when you clearly see order flow? But today you didn't see order flow, but you still took trades. Yeah, so I'll be reviewing again my entire week. I could make a video on my weekly review and what lessons I've learned from that, so I might do that soon after I've created my week review. And I'm going to make a plan on what I'm looking for in my trades and put that up as well. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you want to follow my daily game plan and how I'm going to become a profitable trader, and daily reviews. And if you have any feedback to give me or advice, then happy to listen to it, because I'm still learning. And yeah, so thank you for watching.